What a story this was and now continues to be. Two affluent brothers, Lyle and Erik Menendez, accused of shooting their parents at point-blank range. Not just accused, guilty of shooting the parents at point-blank range. They never denied it. But new evidence has emerged that could change everything, says their attorney, Mark Geragos. It's good to have him right now. Counselor, thank you very much for joining us on this. Help me understand.
Well, first of all, can I thank you and Dusty that I didn't have to deal with the breaking news about the DMVs and whatever else. So thank you for hearing about this. The writ or the writ petition that we filed for the brothers basically is based on two pieces of evidence. The first is a letter that Erik had written prior to the killings, and I don't call them murders because it's our belief that they should not be called murders. That letter details the fear that Erik had and the very real-time abhorrent behavior that was happening. And he wrote that to his cousin. As you see there, he's referring to him as Andy. Now, tragically, Andy passed away. This letter was packed away in his things, and it was almost 2 decades later that it was discovered. Now, that was important because that corroborates well before the killings took place what was happening. But then you have this documentary that came out, and the documentary now puts out the fact that not only was he doing this with Erik, but he was a predator as well with one of the members of the boy band Menudo, and that was something that was unknown before. And one of the things that people don't, I think, truly understand unless you lived through it and you were paying attention, the first trial, they were allowed to put on evidence of this.
Right.
They were able to put on, both of them put that evidence on. The jury in that first trial, there's a picture of Leslie Abramson, the lawyer who represented him in that trial. The jury found more than half that they were not guilty of the murder, but they should go for the manslaughter. Now, that was a hung jury.
Right.
What happened between trial number 1 and trial number 2?
They took out that
O.J.
evidence.
was acquitted. Yeah, and guess what happened? The DA and the judge decided we're going to make course correction. We're not going to be made fun of anymore. We're not going to get there. And the DA, David Kahn, who tried the second trial, he didn't try the first, he actually argued in the closing argument to the jury it was an abuse excuse. They had fabricated it, the whole thing, knowing that all of this evidence, besides these two, was available.
Now, I actually interviewed Lyle Menendez when I was back at CNN. I may have done it for HLN, but whatever. We talked about this specific dynamic, and here's what he said. It was an audio interview.
I felt like my brother had given up. This started when he was an early teenager or younger, and he had just sort of given up and ended up in this sort of sick sexual relationship with my father. And I didn't really know honestly, I didn't really know what to think other than just horrified by it and just shocked that I did not know. And I think my shock really grew when I had conversations with my mother about it, and it was clear that she knew.
All right, so even if it's all true, why is it okay to kill both your parents because one of them has been having a sexual relationship with you that you don't want?
Nobody's saying that it was okay. Remember, the jury was not hung between an acquittal and a conviction. They were hung between murder and manslaughter.
Right, but you're so when you say it's not murder, you're not saying that the killing was okay. You're saying it's just not murder, it's manslaughter.
Correct. Back then, I'll tell you now, in today's milieu, fast forward to today,
yeah,
I'm not so sure they get convicted of anything at all. And by the way, even back then, if they had been the Menendez sisters instead of the Menendez brothers, I don't think they ever would have been convicted, and they certainly wouldn't be in prison.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And Don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.